very good morning to all the students of class 12. Today we shall continue with the lesson Local Self-Government, and today we are going to have a look at the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. So in the last class, more or less, you have an idea about the local self-government. Why is it necessary that the people from the villages should also take part in the administration of the locality, isn't it? And besides that, we also had a look at the working of the panchayat system from 1954 to 1992. And there were some defects in the working of the Panchayati Raj Institute, isn't it? So, because of which now the 73rd Amendment Act was passed, and we will see how many changes were brought about in the working of the Panchayati Raj system. Now, the panchayats have been the backbone of the Indian villages since the beginning of the recorded history. That means it wanted to make the decentralization, isn't it? Or it laid a lot of emphasis on decentralization so that people even from the villages could take part in the administration of the locality. Because the people are from the villages, isn't it? So they know the villages well, and at the same time they know what are the problems which the people are facing in the villages. And then they will come to know about the different solutions by which their problems can be solved. Yeah, so a lot of emphasis had been laid on the village administration. So, Gandhiji dreams of every village being a republic or panchayats having powers has been translated into reality with the introduction of the three-tier Panchayati Raj system to enlist people's participation in the rural construction. So, Gandhiji had also laid a lot of emphasis on the participation of the people, isn't it? So, that would be possible with the introduction of the Panchayati Raj system, where the Panchayati Raj system was instituted in the village level. That means people even from the village level could have a say in the administration of the village, isn't it? So because they are the people of the village, so if they are the people of the villages, so some sort of responsibility should also be given to them, because we know that India is a very large country, so it is not possible for the Prime Minister or the President or the Chief Ministers to go into the villages and find out what are the problems which they are facing. But if the people themselves are aware of the problems, are aware of how these problems can be solved, so for that the people were given a lot of responsibility, and that was possible to the Panchayati Raj system. Okay, now the 73rd Amendment 1992 added a new Part 9 to the Constitution titled the Panchayats. So covering provisions from Article 243 to 243(o) and a new 11th schedule covering 29 subjects within the functions of the Panchayat. That means now more responsibilities were handed over to the people living in the villages. That means people could also now take a lot of participation or be an active participant of the different problems or issues which were being faced by the people living in the villages they themselves, or they could participate in the various activities of the villages they themselves. Okay, so this is important now. 24th April 1993 was a landmark day in the history of the Panchayati Raj in India, because on this day the Constitution 73rd Amendment Act 1992 came into force to provide constitutional status to the Panchayati Raj institutions. Because in the earlier years from 1954 to 1992, though the Panchayati Raj system was there, but a lot of defects could be seen in the functioning of the Panchayati Raj system. So in the previous class we discussed about the different problems which was being faced by the Panchayati Raj system, isn't it? So some of the problems were illiteracy, ignorance, and besides that Panchayati Raj system was being used as a tool by the state government, and when they ran short of funds, instead of receiving the grants, now they had to depend upon the state government for the finances. So these were the many problems which were being faced by the Panchayati Raj system. But by passing the 73rd Amendment Act, now we will see how many changes did take place in the Panchayati Raj system, for which now the Panchayati Raj system was given more responsibility, it was given more facilities to take care of the villages. Now, the main features of the Act are establishment of a three-tier structure. So, village panchayat or the gram panchayat, okay, at the lowest level. Then in the intermediate level, the panchayat samiti, okay, and at the district level, you have the district panchayat or the Zilla Parishad. And a lot of emphasis was also laid on the establishment of Gram Sabha or the village assemblies and their empowerment as a decision-making body at the village level. Okay, now let's have a look at the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. Now, the main features of the Act are established. Now, a lot of emphasis was given on the establishment of the three-tier structure. That is, the village panchayat at the lowest level, okay, the gram panchayat. Then at the intermediate level, you have the panchayat samiti, and at the district level, you have the Zilla Parishad. Now, each and every state had to have these three tiers of the Panchayati Raj system. Okay, but in the earlier cases, what we saw was some of them just had the village panchayat and the Zilla Parishad. They did not have the panchayat samitis, and they wanted to do away with the panchayat samiti. But it was made necessary by the 73rd Amendment Act that these three-tier structure had to be established in the village level for the working of the Panchayati Raj system. Now, regular elections every 5 years. Now, it's not that once an individual became a member of the Panchayat Samiti or the Gram Panchayat, now he is going to remain a member forever. No, but regular elections were to be conducted after every 5 years, so that each and everyone gets a chance to become a member of the Panchayati Raj institution. Now, reservation of seats for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in proportion to their population. So now, seats are also reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe in proportion to their population, so that they can also have their representation in the Panchayati Raj institution. Because these people belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are the ones who are less in number, isn't it? So they cannot come forward on their own. So some sort of facility has to be given by the government. Okay, so that's why seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes based on their proportion. Now, not less than 1/3 of reservation of seats for women at 3 different levels of Panchayati Raj institutions. So, seats were not only reserved for the people belonging to the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, but 1/3 of the seats are also reserved for the women in the 3-tier of the Panchayati Raj system. Okay, maybe in the Zilla Parishad or the Panchayat Samiti or the Gram Panchayat. So, seats are reserved for them. Establishment of state finance commissions to recommend measures to improve the finance of panchayats. So before, panchayats were very much dependent upon the state government, isn't it? And it seemed as if the state was using the Panchayati Raj system as a tool, isn't it? But actually, there was a vast difference between local self-government and local government. So for that now, it was necessary that state finance commission were to be established in order to improve the finances of the panchayat, because the panchayats also have a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement has to be done. So for that reason, they need a large amount of finance. Okay, so for that, the state finance commission had to be established. Establishment of state election commissions to conduct election to the Panchayati Raj institutions. So, establishment of state election commission was also very necessary. You could not keep anyone as a member of the Panchayat Samiti or member of the Gram Panchayat or the village or the Zilla Parishad, isn't it? So, the establishment of state election commission was very necessary because they were there to conduct the elections belonging or for the members belonging to the Panchayati Raj institution. Okay, so, state election commission conducts the election to the Panchayati Raj institutions. Now, establishment of district planning committees to prepare development plans for the districts. So now, this Panchayati Raj system was to become more organized, isn't it? So that's why establishment of district planning committees was necessary. So why was it necessary? In order to prepare developmental plans for the district. So what type of development are to be brought about in the district? So that had to be done by the district planning committee. It could not be discussed, okay, ABSRT, or not then and there, but the District Planning Commission committee was given the responsibility for preparing the developmental plans of the district. Now, preparation of plans for economic development and social justice and their execution concerning 29 subjects listed in the 11th schedule of the Constitution. Okay, so now, if the Panchayati Raj system was to function properly, okay, so preparation of plans for economic development had to be done, okay, so that the people, even from the village level, they are economically developed, that means they are not dependent on someone else, and social justice, because especially in the villages, isn't it, a lot of differences are brought between the people belonging to different castes, tribe, religion, isn't it? So social justice had to be there, okay? Everyone should be given the same amount of justice. And their execution concerning the 29 subjects listed in the 11th schedule of the Constitution. So, 11th schedule was also introduced whereby 29 subjects are there. Okay, so the 29 subjects are very much concerned with the people living in the villages. So, for that, the preparation of the plans had to be done beforehand. Now, establishment of Gram Sabha or the village assemblies and their empowerment as a decision-making body at the village level. So now the institution of Gram Sabha was also very important, so that the people at the lowest level could also be given certain amount of responsibility, okay, as a decision-making body at the village level. And then rotation in accordance with the reservation of seats for women and the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes in the Panchayati Raj institution. And then it had to take into consideration the reservation of seats for the women as well as for the people belonging to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Okay, so these were some of the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. Now, powers and responsibilities. So now, why was the 73rd Amendment Act passed? So that now the Panchayati Raj institution could also have a constitutional status. That means they should also have some importance with regard to the governance of the country. That means the people at the village they themselves should be self-sufficient, or the people at the village level they themselves should take care of the different problems or the different issues, or think about the developmental work which is supposed to take place in the village level. Now let's look at the powers and responsibilities. So by the Constitution 73rd Amendment Act, the Panchayati Raj institutions have been given such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function. So it contains provisions for devolution of powers and responsibilities related to it. That means, what are the powers which the Panchayati Raj institution enjoyed? The preparation of plans for economic development and social justice. Okay, that means how were they able to do away with the economic problems which the people were facing, and how is the Panchayati Raj institution able to provide social justice to the individuals. Okay, so the implementation of such schemes for economic development and social justice as may be entrusted to them. So the power of the Panchayati Raj institution is very important. Most importantly, for the economic development of the people and to provide social justice. And besides that, other related problems which the village people are facing. So the Panchayati Raj institution was supposed to take care of it. Okay, so this was more or less the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. Okay, so this is important for your boards also, because usually when they send questions, so they usually ask question on the 73rd Amendment Act, or what were the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. Okay, so for this, what I would like you all to do is go through a textbook. Okay, so there also there is a mention of the features of the 73rd Amendment Act. Okay, so 73rd Amendment Act is related with the Panchayati Raj institution. Okay, that is the rural local self-government. So you go over it, and in the days to come, I will be sending you the assignments, or I will be sending you the notes. So till then, stay home, stay safe, and at the same time, don't forget to study. Have a nice day.